Hello, Namaskar and a very good evening to all the viewers watching NCRT's live interactive session. This is Simran Singh and you have all connected with us through eVidya channel number 6 to 12. Besides viewers, we have so many different mediums through which you all can connect with us, and you can also participate in our live sessions by raising your queries, your questions in the comment section of our YouTube channel that you all know. It is NCRT official. So it's around 5 p.m. on your watch, and regularly from 5 till 5:30 we have our special sessions of Sahyog. And let me also apprise you that Sahyog and Paricharcha sessions, they are conducted under MANODARPAN initiative by the Ministry of Education as a part of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. And also we run these sessions to provide guidance for mental well-being and psychosocial support to all the students and viewers watching our programs out there. And before introducing the topic of the program, here is an important piece of information regarding G20 for all of you. We are proud of the fact that India assumed the G20 presidency and will convene the G20 Leaders Summit for the first time in the country in this year. That's 2023. The nation is deeply committed to democracy and multilateralism. India's G20 presidency is a watershed moment in her history, as it seeks to play a very important role by finding global pragmatic solutions for the well-being of everyone, and in doing so, manifesting the true spirit of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, or should I say the world is one family. So here we come up with certain interesting topics in our Sahyog program. So let me inform you that the topic we are going to discuss today is productive ideas for learning. Now, we all know when it comes to learning, it has to be interesting, it has to be productive and no more boring. That's why there can be different ways, different forms of learning which might be unique to everyone. So, what all do we have in today's program? Providing us more insights, we are joined by our two speakers. We have with us Ms. Padmavati D. Ma'am, faculty from RIE Mysuru NCRT. Namaskar, ma'am.
Namaste, ma'am.
Good evening. We welcome you. Then we are also joined by a practicing counselor from for this session, Ms. Janani V. Namaskar, ma'am.
Namaste.
We welcome both our speakers, and also viewers. If you have any of the queries, any questions you would like to ask us, anything, you can write it in the comment section of NCRT official with regard to our Sahyog sessions, and our experts will be more than happy to take all your queries and answer them. Also, we have our contact number flashing on your screens if you are watching the program through eVidya channels, and you can give us a call in case of doubts at 8800440559. And the specific mail ID for Sahyog is again right there. It is sahyog.ncrt@ciet.nic.in. So you can reach out to us through different mediums with your doubts, with your queries, with your messages. So let's begin our conversation, that is on productive ideas for learning. So in the first place, let's understand the basic meanings of learning and productivity from Padmavati madam.
Yes, thank you, Simran. So now we are understanding about learning first. So learning is universal, we all know it. It's a behavioral or attitudinal change acquired in a person due to new experiences. So it may be learning is off school or in campus or off campus of the school. So learning is universal. And what do we call learning? So learning is a process of acquiring knowledge and the skills through exposing to different experiences, so through different efforts, so through different hard work, and it is a lifelong process. And we are very familiar that the process of learning, it starts from womb to tomb, and also it is from cradle to grave. So the learning is a lifelong process. So then, when we come with this, there are variety ways of learning. So for example, listening. Through listening we learn. So listening lectures, demonstrations, etc. And through reading textbook or any other sources or any other
Yes, Padmavati ma'am. So, we were discussing about the variety of learning, and as you can watch our slide over there, it's listening to lectures and discussions, reading textbooks and other materials, and different types of learning that we have. So, Janani ma'am, would you like to address the area of learning and productivity for all our viewers? Janani ma'am? Alright viewers, so you are watching our special segment of Sahyog, and as I already informed you in the beginning of our program that Sahyog and Paricharcha sessions, they are the special sessions, and regularly, that is from Monday to Friday from 5 till 5:30 we conduct our special sessions of Sahyog. It is conducted under the special initiative by Ministry of Education, and that initiative is MANODARPAN, and also as a part of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. And viewers, we try to provide guidance for mental well-being and psychosocial support to all the students, all the viewers watching our programs out there. And you know the different mediums through which you can reach out to us with all your doubts, with all your queries. So for that we have our contact number on the screens. It is 8800440559, and you can also write to us, reach out to us through our email ID that you all know. It is sahyog.ncrt@ciet.nic.in. And as you all know that NCRT textbooks, they are available for this academic year from 2023 to 2024. And also viewers, you are noting that there is a number right there on your screen. It's our national helpline for free telecounseling. You may note down this number. It is 844-844-0632. And as I was apprising you about the availability of NCRT textbooks, so NCRT textbooks for the academic year 2023 to 2024, they are available all across the country, and the textbooks can be purchased directly from NCRT sales counters that are currently located at New Delhi, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Kolkata and Guwahati. And our sales counters will be functional on all the weekdays, including gazetted holidays, that also include Saturdays and Sundays, and the timings would be 9:30 am in the morning till 6 pm in the evenings. Also, if you would like to place an order online for NCRT textbooks, then it can be done through the website that is flashing on your screens. It is www.ncertbooks.ncrt.gov.in. I am repeating this website for all of you. It is www.ncertbooks.ncrt.gov.in, and you will be able to receive all the books for which you placed an order at your doorstep with no extra delivery charges. And in case viewers, if you would like to download the soft copy or the PDF version of NCRT textbooks, then it can always be done through ePathshala website, Diksha platform and our mobile application. Well, if you would like to explore more about the authorized vendors through which you can purchase NCRT books, then we also have the website of NCRT that is flashing on your screens. You may kindly note it down. It is www.ncrt.nic.in. And as you all know that India assumed the G20 presidency, and we are so proud of this fact that it assumed the G20 presidency, and it is going to convene the G20 Leaders Summit for the first time in the country in this year, that's 2023. And the nation is deeply committed to democracy and multilateralism. India's G20 presidency is a watershed moment in her history, as it seeks to play a very important role by finding global pragmatic solutions for the well-being of everyone, and in doing so manifesting the true spirit of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, or should I say the world is one family. So when we talk about the world as one family, we not only mean the citizens of our country, but also the citizens, the people abroad, and it also encompasses all the living species on this planet Earth. So viewers, this is our special program of Sahyog, and let me apprise you that it's not the only one program that we run through different channels of eVidya. Right from the morning at 8 am, we run our sessions for all of you, and we are back with our experts in the program, and I'll request Padmavati ma'am to please start explaining about what is learning and productivity.
Yeah, we have already discussed. We'll just brief out with what is learning. So it's an attitudinal or behavioral changes acquired by an individual because of his new experiences. So he learns through knowledge and skills through different experiences. Learning is lifelong. So it is from womb to tomb. It is from cradle to grave. And we have variety ways of learning: listening, reading, performing activities, and taking tests. So reading the books and any other material resources, lectures, listening to lectures, discussions, performing activities, learning by doing, and also it is assessment for learning. Taking test will lead you for learning. So that is what learning is. Now, when we just move into productivity, so we all are very familiar. Productivity is nothing. It's an outcome. So we call it as ability to learn effectively and efficiently. So through efficiency, we are reaching towards effectiveness. So we often confuse with productivity with either effectiveness or efficiency. It is combination of both. So by effectiveness, so it means that we are referring to the extent how the desirable outcomes have been achieved by the learners. So, acquiring of various skills and knowledge, and also understanding how successful he has to be in his life. So, that is effectiveness. So, it's a product outcome. So, when it comes with efficiency, it refers with the process. How do we utilize the resources? In education, we utilize the resources and our aim is to achieve desirable learning outcomes. So when I achieve desirable outcomes, so the learning results in time efficient, cost efficient, and maximum utilization of minimum resources is an outcome of efficiency. So when we look into learning and productivity, so learning and productivity are interdependent. Learning inflow drives the productivity, and in turn, the productive ideas enhances the learning. Thank you.
All right, and thank you, ma'am, for laying a stage of what productivity and learning means and what are the varied ways of learning. So let's understand some productive ideas that can actually enhance the process of learning from Janani, ma'am. Janani, ma'am, will request you to please explain
Yes,
us,
ma'am.
yes, a few
Yes,
ideas that
thank you, ma'am.
enhances learning.
Yeah, right. Like Padmavati ma'am correctly mentioned, so both are interdependent. So we have some productive ideas that can enhance the learning. So we have few like self-reflection, spaced learning, blended learning, micro learning, video learning, and applying the learning to the real world. So what is self-reflection? So after the student has learned whatever the content they wanted to understand, so it has to be reflected back. That is how far I have understood the concept, where I will have to put more effort in understanding how this can be done in a better way. So if these self reflection happens for each and everyone, the learning can be enhanced definitely. The next one is spaced learning. Spaced learning is like, so usually when children are watching movie, or anyone who watches movie will have the discussion after a week. So whenever we meet friends or the known circles, we will have a discussion over that. But this is not happening when it comes to learning. So after learning any concept, if this recalling happens once in a week or once in a month, whenever, we will have to revisit it again and again, which makes the learning better. The next one is blended learning. Blended learning, like as we all very much familiar now, after the COVID period, we have the blended method of learning that we are studying materials through online also. So it is the both the traditional method of learning, and we are learning through online materials also, online courses also. So blended is whenever we feel bored with the monotony of learning, we can actually switch over to other method, which can definitely help in refreshing the content, and it can definitely enhance the learning skills. Micro learning is The learner can break down the bigger concepts into smaller chunks so that bits can be registered very easily, and then when it is combined to a single content, then it will be very easy to remember. This is micro learning, which can definitely help in longer retention of the content. Then video learning, like now we are very much familiar with the advancement of ICT. Video learning has become very familiar in every childhood's life. So everybody is referring some videos when they are not in a position to understand the textual content. So video learning definitely helps for the learner to grasp the thing very easily and to visualize the concept and understand it in a better way. Then whenever the concepts that we are reading, if we are applying to the real world, then it becomes very powerful. So the learning that we are having in the classroom has to be applied in the real world so that we cannot forget anything. So for example, when it comes to math concept, we study profit and loss for the purpose of applying it in the real world, where we are missing in many cases. Like if parents ask the children when they are stepping into the supermarket how profit, so they are in the mode of studying. So if they ask 33% of this salwar how much will cost, so they will have to connect it this what they have studied in the classroom to the real life, then it becomes meaningful. The other few methods we have is teach others. So the similar example what we have taken earlier of movie watching, if we take, when we discuss the same with others, it persists in the memory a lot. So you can retain, the retention of memory becomes more when you are teaching or sharing with others. So this is another best way to learn better. Then learning in the workflow, whatever work we are doing in the flow itself we are learning, then it becomes better. And we will have to take frequent tests, and also we can use mixed method of learning formats which can enhances definitely the learning, and through mistakes we can learn. So because we cannot have the thing in mind that I'm going to make a mistake, so because of that no learner can stop from learning. So we will have to dare to face the mistakes, so that through the mistakes definitely we can learn. Then usage of ICT learns had become a very common thing now, but definitely it plays a very major role in today's learning. Because of this ICT usage, active interaction learning can also happen. And there are many methods apart from ICT tool usage. We have many other methods that can enhance the interactive learning also. So we have some techniques which can be discussed in the further. Thank you.
As you have mentioned about techniques, so let's also get to know about the different practically applicable active or inactive techniques from Padmavati ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, Simran. As Janani ma'am was pointing out, there are variety of productive ideas. Active and interactive learning technique is also one of the productive idea. So under that, let us exercise with certain few techniques. So the first one is Qscussion. So some pronounce it as Qscussion also. So what is this Qscussion? So as name itself suggests, so it is combination of both question and discussion. So the discussion takes place through questioning. So one can facilitate by starting the question. So other learners can also prompt with the questions. So discussion happens, the questions are noted down. So the points of that questions are the learning areas. So next one is sketch noting. So what is the sketch noting? So it is commonly referred as visual note taking. Usually we say students while learning take down the points, take the notes. So parents will tell the kids write and learn. So it is writing with some visual effects. So creative and graphic process of the individual is utilized here. So his thoughts, his skills have been recorded. So through that, he could learn certain illustrations, symbols, structures, and text. So when it comes with media break, so it appears to be very simple. By name itself, it is giving a break in between a learning process to use the electronic devices for the students, to media for the students. So what may be a small reason behind it? So the students can browse regarding the topics which were under discussion at that period in that break, and which enhances him more about the learning topic. So next, we move on to infographic. So infographic is also one of the learning technique. So what do we do? So we are creating a infographic. So information through graphical method. The collection of information through graphical representation, it combines flowchart, logical and visual representation. And then comes a concept mapping. So in general, concept maps are best suited for all the types of learners. Specifically, generally it is for all students. Specifically, it is very better tool for visual learners. One who view and learn, so that it may be more advantageous. It is also one of the way to learn the concepts. So best for the concepts. So one can understand about hierarchy, interrelationship linked with the concept. It is also a visual representation of information. It may be a tree chart, so it may be a graph, or it may be a flow chart, anything it can be. So this concept mapping is a very best tool. So that has been practiced in schools also. Even the student can also practice in his learning practices. So then it comes with paraphrasing. And we are all very familiar with paraphrasing. So the same technique, we are using it for the learning process. So what is paraphrasing? So paraphrasing is nothing but we are rewriting the same informations what we have read in a different way. So writing the same information that has been learned by us in a different way, it enhances again the meaningful learning. So it will helps you to integrate the ideas what we have to do. So what we have to do? So read a paragraph, understand it. Later, don't look into the original paragraph. So come out with your own ideas. So then at end you could compare the original as well as so the written para by you, so compare it and then come out with meaningful. You can come out with meaningful information later. So then our next topic is make it a story. So when we say make it a story, so learning through story. So storytelling is very easy and a powerful tool, inspiring tool to learn. So we are asking the students to make a story. Telling story itself is very informative for us. It's a very powerful. Now the students, before narrating, they start writing their own story. Writing stories is also very strong, and the storytelling method is practiced from our ancestor period, and it is also very powerful and effective. So then comes pro and con grade. We all know about pros and cons. So what we have to do? So it is also a form of group learning. The students starts listing out pros and cons regarding an argument or regarding a topic, a concept, and they start making discussion. The discussion will be, or the decision of the pro cons will be based on weight and analysis of the points. So this pros and cons grid avoids the misconceptions among the learners. So then it comes with chain notes. So what is this chain notes? So it's also a group technique, a collaborative technique. So it may be one of the facilitator or a student can distribute a worksheet to all. Later, the questions can be circulated among them. Then a student start responding the question and passing to his friends. So like that, a note with number of responses of the students are passed. So later, so the ideas of one student could be looked upon by another and he could compare with his own thinking. So likewise, we will come out with a learning. So then comes a memory matrix. So as name itself indicates, it's a matrix which makes our memory, which enhances our memory. So it is two-dimensional diagram used to organize and illustrate the relationship. The matrix illustrates the relationship. So where we have rows and columns, only headings will be given, the cells will be left empty. The student has to fill it during the class as they learn. So it's a form of worksheet given for the students so they can start learning with the help of this memory matrix. So then comes a beautiful technique, think, pair and share. See how beautifully we are going with all the techniques. So effective techniques or active and interactive techniques are mainly the collaborative techniques only. Think, pair and share. So when a question is posed to the student or when her student has to solve a problem, so what the student has to do? The student has to think about the solution, about answering the question, coming out with the problem solving. So at that time, the student thinks and then he discuss his response with one of the student who is near to him, adjacent to him, that is pair. He thinks and he responds to the pair. And later, whatever they have discussed within the pair, that finally will be shared in the group. Think, pair and share. Next comes brain drain. So it's also one of the form of brainstorming technique we are using. So what do we do? So we are going to, let's group. So students who are learning, let them be in a group and then the students will be given grid. So for example, 6 rows and 3 columns to every student which will be given and some questions will be posed. The student has to brainstorm. After that, each one writes 1 row. After few minutes, so the papers will be anti-clockwise or clockwise, it will be rotated. Later, after 2 minutes, again they have to brainstorm and fill the second session. So like that, they start debriefing their answer, so what they have learned. So it's also a better learning technique. So then movie application. So Janani ma'am was already discussing about movie plays an important role in the process of learning. So how can we apply this movie? Why it is called as active and interactive session? Movie application is included here. So because we know that learning takes place through educational videos. So what we have to do is we have to discuss the examples of movies that made use in a concept or an event which has been discussed in the class already. So the same concept, if in a movie it has been repeated or if it is applied, so the same concepts could be interrelated in the classroom and then we could compare and contrast about the concepts. So it also enhances learning. So next one is post in parent. So as you are looking into the view, a picture of it, so we are going to post. So a question or a concept is given to the student they'll brainstorm and students are also given with post-its. So when they take this post-its, so they start writing one idea in one post-its and then later they will stick that post-its in a chalkboard or in a wall. So it combines the idea of micro ideas of whole concept. So that is post-it parrot. So then our next beautiful thing, active interactive technique is respond, react and reply. So what is this respond? So when the small group of learners are together, so each student is asked to write. Okay, so that is respond. They respond through own writing. So they respond through writing. And then they react to each other in a group's response. So this later, first they respond through writing. Later, they react to the other group members through the responses they have giving. And then the student replies to each of reactions. So whatever reactions they have got based on their responses, so that will be answered by the students. So it is respond, react and reply. So then comes role play and it is one of the effective technique. So the students in role play will come out with an beautiful, meaningful learning. So where they think more critically about the complex and abstract concepts to see the situation in different angles. So they come out with most crucial part of learning also will be made easy. So the concretization of abstract concept is possible with the help of role play, and it is also a fun way of learning where the student doesn't feel that he is learning, so he feels that he is playing, he is enacting. So that is role play. And the last tool is usage of ICT tools, and it is a very broad, and we are using it in both as a learning as well as assessment tool, and it has become part and parcel of our life. So that will be discussed in depth in the next session.
Of course, thank you so much, ma'am, for discussing these details at length with all our viewers. And very quickly, in a nutshell, due to paucity of time, I'll request Janni ma'am, as ICT is the need of the hour, so how we can use ICT tools effectively for the process of learning. But ma'am, we don't have much time.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Definitely.
precisely. Please throw light on this.
Yes, sure. Okay, like yes. So like we know ICT is playing a major role in learning and assessment nowadays. So YouTube videos or any other videos for that matter helps very much in the learning purpose. So when we are not understanding the concept which we have taken through the lecture method, definitely we can refer any videos that can be played in the pace of the learner. So you can, I mean, you can have it for multiple sessions, play past things, and you can understand it very nicely. And this is not the only way that you can definitely reach out to the resource person who has created the video, which will be given in the comment, description link and all. So this is one good way of learning. And we have mobile and tablet devices where we know the wider applications of the mobile and tablet devices or any ICT gadgets devices that we are using for educational purpose, that we have applications like to enhance the, like we now we say immersive technology. So if we are not understanding any concept that is in a two-dimensional way, then it can be perceived in the three-dimensional way, which we are telling it as virtual reality and augmented reality. So we have many applications which is connected with AR, that is augmented reality, where
Yes,
we
ma'am,
can
you are sharing details, some important details with all our viewers. But due to paucity of time, I'll have to request you to conclude your words.
definitely I can share some videos related to that. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. I'll request you for a concluding message or remark to all our viewers.
Yes, okay. So learning becomes very productive when we are using such useful techniques which gives more meaningful for the learning. This simulation is a very beautiful technique, like before understanding any concepts or actual laboratory works and all, simulations can be done with the help of ICT, where you can actually learn the things.
Of
Like
course.
Padmavati madam has discussed, like you have so many offline interactives also. We are assuring that you will make use of all these techniques
And I believe, ma'am,
have
our
a
viewers
better
will take a
learning.
note of all the important segments that have been highlighted by both our speakers. Thank you, Padmavati ma'am, and thank you, Janani ma'am, for being a part of this conversation in our Sahyog session. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you to all the viewers who have connected with NCRT for this particular live interaction. Now it's time to say goodbye. Take very good care of yourself. That's all for today from NCRT, but keep watching eVidya channels. Namaskar.